All right. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. It's December 11th. NASDAQ. Wow. Pretty wild overnight session. We end up with a close yesterday right near 25,830, 25,900. That's key area of resistance that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. Right through here is significant through November. And now it's been pretty important here the past couple of weeks. You can see that major pivot there. Now, interestingly enough, we do have, I think it was like the 78% fib is right there. And that's from this high to this low. So the whole sell off, 78% fib is basically right here. Right there. So it continues to act as resistance here. During the overnight sesh, we have what was fairly large sell off, right? Let's get some measurement on that thing. Talking about 2%. It's not bad. For NASDAQ, 2% sell off during the overnight sesh, and then buyers step in versus the 360, 25, 360 level of interest. Just kind of looking left on the chart, you can see the significance of that area. And now we're right back into the structure. We're right back into 25,700. So all of that volatility and prices right here in the same area. A lot of volatility, but as far as where it's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. Staying within the near-term range. Staying within this. How many sessions do we have now? 6, 7 sessions, maybe a little more. Daily chart kind of gives a better view. Yeah, look at this. Started, we could say basically December 3rd. So for the entirety of December so far. Look at that daily chart. Oh my goodness. And then when you zoom out, so you have kind of a 7-day range right here. When you zoom out, I mean, what is this, right? This is just sideways range. Sideways range from September. So non-trending market. A lot of chop through here, a lot of sideways action, a lot of traders feeling some pain. I know chop can be more challenging to trade. I mean, for me, the key with trading chop is really just doing less. You gotta be willing to lean off the keys to just be okay with 1 to 2 trades on the session and just sit back and chill. It's holiday trading. It's holiday trading for you. So it brings us into today. What are we going to do? Well, I'm definitely going to be looking at 25,700. What I don't love about that level is that it's kind of in the middle of the range, right? Anytime we have a range, my preference is to really engage with the edges of said range. And as someone who focuses on longs, that would mean near the lower portion of the range, right? So a couple of ideas that I'll consider for today. Number one, a break above 700 that then offers some market structure based entry would be a considerable idea. I would also look at a reversal or bounce versus 25,580. We can see all the support through there. That level worked very nicely yesterday too. And then again, if you see a failure there, I would consider a bounce down into this area between, I believe it was 530 and 480. Now, this is a little trickier because it is a very wide zone. And we've talked about this over the past couple of weeks. When you have a wide zone and you want a reversal in the zone, Are you going to take it near the upper portion of the zone and potentially, either deal with some drawdown or get stopped out, just to have price bounce versus the lower portion of the zone? Are you going to scale in, right? And still most likely eat a little bit of drawdown, perhaps unrealized? Are you going to wait for the bottom of said zone and then potentially miss the trade if it bounces versus the upper portion? There's a lot to consider here. There's a lot to consider with some of these wider zones. So I'll keep an eye in this area, but it's not my favorite just because of the width here. Are we going to see a prior day low spring? We're going to see a real test of 500. You can see the support here from the overnight sesh. So TBD. Hopefully price doesn't get down in there and we don't even have to think about it. Now brings me to the next point. If price does get down there and we do see even a failure here, you're most likely gonna have kind of a larger shift in the current structure. The near term range might be breaking down. So we'll see what that looks like. We'll see how today shapes up, but just keeping an open mind, right? I've got no crystal ball here. Just want to be prepared for whatever could happen and then have a handful of different if then scenarios based on what could happen. If price does this, I'll do this. If price does that, I'll do something else. That's all this is, day in and day out. So let's see, 1 minute till the open. Critique risk off. Post FOMC day, not usually good for me. Per my stats, that's really good info. Shows that you look at your own data, which is massive. It's important. A lot of traders won't even do that basic level of work. So it's always refreshing to see someone that will do the review. All right, 10 seconds till the open. Let's see what we're working with. Extended hours volume point of controls up at 672. There's your open. About 643. Little sell right off the open here. Getting into 580. Looks like Oracle got really beat up on earnings. So NASDAQ getting into 580 here. See if buyers have any interest in this level or if prior day low is going to trade. A little bit of a bounce. Can it show follow through? These are very wide structures. Man. Such volume point of control extended hours shifts back into 600. Look at that gap lower. And key right back into the lows. There's your new low of day. So prior day low, downside reference point. And opening 5-minute bar closes bearish. Des taking off the week of I think that's Des taking off the week of Christmas. Yeah. No trading for me that week. New Year's, we'll see. TBD on New Year's. We'll see about New Year's. But definitely a week of Christmas, man. Take a little break from the charts. How can we change the namespec? Man, I looked at it. I think it's YouTube doesn't give the option for the toggle anymore. They used to have it so you could do handle or name, and they just changed it to all handle now. So Does FOMC mess with the trading view charts? You'll have a little more volatility. So yeah. But outside of that, it just kind of makes the scales a little different. The NQ just kind of churning here near that 580. Got session volume point of control right in this area. Right back into the lows. NQ. Back into the lows. D-Wall, good to see you, man. Congrats on the big day yesterday. Well done. So if the lows give out, watch for that prior day low to be tested. Really, like I said before the bell, treat this as a whole zone, 50-point zone. 50 yoint. There's a new low of day, NASDAQ. NASDAQ still right here in the structure. So a little look beneath and we're still here. RTY is at all-time highs. For anyone that trades RTY, you may want to keep an eye on that prior day high being tested right now. NQ next 5-minute bar is getting ready to close, as well as the 15-minute candle. We just have a consolidation here near 25,580. Some indecision. NASDAQ new low. See if this prior day low is going to trade. You got an uptick in volume. PDL sits at 530. Wouldn't mind seeing some action right in this area into 10 a.m. Oh, 10 a.m. RT. Feels like it's been a while. Yeah, ES holding its own. It's kind of sitting on the 68, 65 level. Here's true test prior day low. So my preference down in here, I like to wait for 500, 480 area, which means if we get a prior day low spring, I'll just pass on it. There's ES. Starting to catch up to NQ. ES new low of day. Okay, no spring at prior day low. Still have 10 minutes till 10, unfortunately. Like these sorts of trades to align with 10 a.m. reversal time. It's like no interest there at 500. So beneath 480, we show acceptance beneath 480. Overnight low is going to be the target down through here. As of right now, structure looks like there's potentially a retest of kind of the center point of the range. And now rolling over, we may have a big change in character underway. We'll see. TBD. Too early to say, right? But that was one of the potential scenarios we outlined this morning. Good volume coming in down here. Can always count on FOMC and post FOMC action to bring in the volume. That's for sure. Slight little bounce there and reject at 500. Sellers just sitting right at 500. That'd be a little microstructure to join the short for the brave, the shallow pullback enjoyers. Opening 30 is long doji on what? On NQ, that's a big bear bar. Oh, on ES. Got you. NQ and No Man's Land for me right here. I either need to see action above the 480, 500 area or down into 360 overnight low. Ideally aligned with 10 a.m. or post 10 a.m. All right, overnight low. Here it comes. 380 by 360. Look at that hourly bar. Big bear. What was that retrace on the bounce? Let's see. Wow. 61%, almost to the tick. The only short entry I saw there was the retest of 500. Personally, unless you're going to chase momentum, just short the lows. That's not my that's not my cup of tea personally. All right, here comes 10 a.m. See if buyers have any interest as we get into overnight low. There's your fresh low, 25,400 currently trading. Volume's great. So that's not a concern right now. Check that RVol. There's a nice uptick in volume. Post 10 a.m. now. Basically sitting on overnight low. Let's take a look at this. Intraday. The RTH fib. Where's the 50? It's way up there near prior day low. Okay. A little bit of a bounce. Shallow fib. Let's see. I would like to see more follow through. If buyers can kind of break the shallow fib, should be good for 500. Go ahead and cover my risk right here. And I'll trail 432 if this thing retraces. If sellers show up heavy at the shallow fib, tells me I'm probably a little too early for the bounce idea. Do while December 1st gap closed. December 1st gap. Let's see that. Oh, I see what you're talking about right there. Five-minute looks a little better. Needs a break right through here. 462, 463. For buyers anyway. Let's get the push. Push. There it is. I'll lift the trail, 445. And like I said, I like to target the 500 area, initial target. Right now, trailing beneath that microstructure, coming into 500. So we'll see how this candle closes. I may trail beneath this candle. Thanks, man. I wasn't always a calm trader. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna lift the trail a little bit. 453.25. I was not always a calm trader. Not always been this way. I've had my fair share of emotional crash outs. I don't think there's a trader out there who has not. All right, we're getting into 500, so I'm going to start to trail a little more tightly. I'll go 466. 500 was my initial target. Critique, you grow into it. Yeah, agreed. I mean, I hate to say it, but experience, it really does help. Doesn't help anyone to say that, but it does actually help. You just got to keep going through the tough times. So I'd like to trail. I hate when I try and grab the order and then the screen moves. All right, I'm trailing 481.25. D-wall, yeah, I'm with you. Same target. Let's go prior day low area. I gotta lift it. I'm 495, 493.75 on the trail. Prior bar low on the 30-second. What a bounce. Let's go. Let's go. I think we mentioned 10 a.m. RT today. Here's the 50% fib. So if a seller is going to show, I wouldn't be surprised if it's through here. I'm trailing 498. Am I in the trade? Yeah, I'm trailing right now 498. Wow, 540, 535, 540. I gotta lift it. Sorry. Gotta lift it. 511. And this is like parabolic here off the lows. Here's prior day low. Here's VWAP area. Here's the fib sell zone. Okay, I'm going to keep with the theme. I'll just go prior bar low there as well, 520.75. This is a 30-second bar by bar trailing method. We're beyond my initial target here, so just want to protect all the open profits. Oh, one tick away. There it is. Trailed out. All right. 100 points. Thursday morning, 100 points. Wow. 10 a.m. reversal time. Close proximity to overnight low. We had really one of the kickers for me was that big spike in volume. This kind of opened my eyes a little bit right there here, right near 10 a.m. Preference definitely would have been sweep of the overnight low. That, in my opinion, that would have been a superior setup. But based on how this was kind of developing, I just put the limit buy. Where'd I put it? Right at just before 4:30. And you can see the little structure that develops there. So I'll just put the limit order like right above that candle formation. And then that way, if the market puts me in, the market puts me in. Stop, of course, goes below the lows. In this case, I had it just beneath the overnight low, give it a little buffer. I cover some of my risk early on, just in case it does curl over and give the overnight low sweep. And then just trying to ride, just try and ride. You long at 25,498. It was 25,427 ish, 25,426 area. So it's kind of 10 a.m. reversal time. Trade idea. I like to not fade directional movement in the first 30 minutes when I can. Sometimes I do anyway because I'm a silly Billy, but typically I like to avoid that. And today is a great example why. It looks like the trail may have been a bit tight, but I'm all right with that. NQ continuing higher. Look at that. D Wall, you still in? D Wall, nice trade, man. Well done. Hit two target zones. Yeah, Mario, I'm kind of surprised by the V shape, if I'm being totally honest. Don't always see the V shape like that. Happy at 480. Yeah. Same, man. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. It's tough for me to hold once we start to see a little, even slight signs of exhaustion in that prior day low fib sell zone area, like the 50 and 61% with VWAP there. Like, how can I not expect some seller to show up here? And then how much do I want to give back? Is it going to retrace, down into here? Is it going to retrace down into here? So that's why trade management's it's a bit of an art form. And really, you're just never gonna nail the exact low in the exact high. It's not necessarily the goal either. Just trying to get our piece. Just trying to get our piece. That's it. You go crazy trying to nail the exact high every time with your exits. Turi on 37 still riding. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Helps offset APT 100 point loss. Yeah, it's part of the game. No strategy will have a 100% hit rate. What to do now? What to do now? We got a 15-minute buy bar there. Still within the previous sell bar, though. I would like to see how all of this structure, session volume, point of control, and 580 level of interest is going to be treated. Let's see what the other indices are doing. ES with the bounce as well. So we had the level there at 68.35, 10 a.m. RT. Per my framework, that's arguably a better trade because you're into a level of interest which is superior to overnight low. It's just going to be a reference point. And ES is still within prior day's range. So not nearly as weak as NQ was on a relative basis. That's really nice. Nice bounce there. Just shy of the highs now on ES. And let me see Russell. So Russell's still just pretty much hanging out right near all-time highs. What's crazy about this is like a massive breakout potentially underway here. on Russell. Just out of curiosity, have we? Oh, wow. So the low for today pretty closely aligns with the shallow fib on this bounce. It's kind of interesting. Question is, does this curl over more, or was that it? And it's gonna finally break 800. My trail now looks terrible. Oh man. Yeah, that's part of the game right there. Part of the game. How's the morning so far, everyone? Yes, all-time high in sight. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too far off. What is that? 2-3%? Let's see, from current price. Wow, only 1%. Yeah. I mean, it's like one good day away. Green, 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 nicely green, solid green. All right. Whatever on hit, long or short or both. I mean, it is two-way trading today, so this is a true V-shaped recovery. Man, that's what dreams are made of right there. You don't see that very often. All right, Mario, see you, man. Nice morning. Sam's in the house. Sam Green, good to see you, man. No pullback yet. Yeah, isn't this crazy? I mean, NQ coming into session highs. ES, you already have a session high. V-shaped recovery is pretty rare. Pretty rare. Seeing this sort of move, I think, is what gets a lot of people in trouble when they're trying reversals. They don't trail out of trades because they're looking for some massive V-shaped recovery. I would not. I would not optimize a system for this sort of move personally. Any discounts for the community? Yeah, you could use code Opinicus. Save yourself 15%. You bet. There's not a trial anymore. We got rid of the trial because of the 2-hour trader now being offered with new think tank signups. And then you get access to all the coaching calls as well, which is today after the close. Can I spell it? Yeah, I'll post it here in the chat. There it is. Question is, do I want to put on another trade? Not really. Not really, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on session highs here up into 700. I mean, the morning is young. We're less than an hour in, almost an hour in. Nailed 100 points off the lows. Admittedly, did trail fairly tight, but I mean, look at the move. It just went vertical. It's tough not to want to secure that. No news, no tweet, crazy V shape. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. The trick is to not delude yourself into thinking this same sort of V-shaped recovery is going to happen every single time there's a sell. Get that recency bias. Oh, remember yesterday that crazy bounce? Remember last week? That's your recipe for disaster right there. So near-term range trading continues. NASDAQ getting back into the weekly volume point of control right through here. See if a fresh high can be made. Kind of bumping into this intraday resistance, prior day volume point of control. Right now, just staying patient, just chilling. NQ early reaction to Oracle's guidance. Oracle put in a nice bounce off of some support. Yeah, that reminds me of the options days right there. I mean, that's a layup. That's a layup opportunity for individual names. It reminds me of my roots, stocks in play, slapping some options. Good times. Good times. Slap the zero DTEs, exactly, Benny. Benny remembers. Benny's been around for a while. Benny, when did you join? Like 2019? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think you weren't you pre-COVID? Pre-COVID markets? Or did you join during that time? Oh, 2020? Okay. During COVID? Okay, okay. The GME days. I'll never forget that, man. Yeah, yeah, that time period was crazy. Just all these trash companies just going insane. So 700s, or excuse me, 580 is going to be treated here. Q, just kind of a little bit of selling activity there versus some intraday structure. This could just be a one and done morning on my end. I did the 10 a.m. reversal time, long versus overnight low, 360 area. The intraday reversal with really good volume. Outside of that, I know some of you were in the short, little retest of 500. It's a little foothold there for a short entry, a little pullback, micro structure. Probably going to need the 15-second or 30-second to really get involved there. Do you all see that structure as resistance after this V-shaped recovery? Yeah. Sellers stepping in there. That may be the range for today. 400 by 630, 625. Meanwhile, ES made fresh highs on the session, no problem. Do while you stepped in, you got the short. It's a good spot for it. It's like a 3-week range right here on ES. Yeah, ES was definitely the better long this morning, if you ask me. I keep saying this, but I gotta keep a closer eye on ES. I feel like I've been saying that all year. You're looking at 520? Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, it's basically there. Right there here. See how 580 is going to be treated. Or rejected. Yeah, it's session volume point of control right through there. The extended hours. Most contracts locked. D wall on your short. Nice. Solid play. Solid intraday structure based opportunity there. You have value area high, prior day volume point of control as a couple of reference points. I like it. Here's prior day low. Yeah, it might be the range for today. That might just be it. See if we get a true test down into 500. See if buyers respond there at all. If not, I'd be looking for the lows again. Truth be told. Can we consider 400 by 800 as the full range? Oh, you mean higher time frame? Yeah, I was basically calling it like 500 by 900 ish area. And yeah, this was this morning, during the overnight session. That's potentially a rejection of the midpoint of the range, which of course is bearish. Now on this recent bounce, price is rejecting weekly volume point of control. Still, for the most part, just kind of in the midpoint of this structure. Yeah, the 4 hour, let's see it. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like it's curling over, right? Big rejection here. Question is how much depth. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Because if you take a fib from basically just looking at the bounce, price is tempting to bounce from that shallow fib so far, right through here. But if we see 360 fail to hold, and it really opens up, you'd be looking at 200 area, maybe 100, kind of right through here. And then, of course, the near term neutral structure shifts more bearish rather than sideways. So, yeah, there's prior day low trading. I'm going to take my one and done and call it. We are an hour and 15 into the sesh. We do have a TMG after the close today, mentorship group, coaching call. Bring your questions. We'll be reviewing today's action and then jumping into a Q&A. Little bounce at prior day low. Nice trade, D-Wall. That's clean. Volume kind of tapering down. So late morning trades. Let's see if I did anything. It would be down near the lows, down near here. I really don't like to mess around in the middle of an intraday structure, even with a level of interest through there. So I like price kind of above 650s, above 700 if buyers continue to step in, or I'll watch down here for potential bounce. But the 500 prior day low area, most likely leave it alone. But more than likely, there's, at least on my end, no more trades going to be placed for today. After the 100 pointer, I think we call it right there. I hope you guys had a good morning. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank for any late morning opportunities, early afternoon opportunities. Then we do have the coaching call after the close today. Other than that, we'll be live tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thank you guys for your time. Have a good day.